And the O's have had some dominant pitching in the series here at the Trop. Chris Tillman and Miguel Gonzalez were both masterful, each giving his team a chance to win. So today, the O's hand the baseball to Wei-Yin Chen as they try to get 2 out of 3 from the Rays. It's the Orioles on Masson at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. Yes, O's fans in the house. It's the Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays. Today it's the rubber game of this 3-game weekend series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Chris Davis gave the O's the big early blow last night. His grand slam gave the Birds a quick 4-0 lead, and the Orioles went on to the win, snapping their 4-game losing streak and now setting up a chance to get a win today and get a series. But the real storyline in this series has been the outstanding starting pitching. If you're going to win, your starters need to give you a chance, and that's what we've seen here at the Trop. On Friday night, Chris Tillman pitched to a tough luck no decision, but he went 7 strong innings. He allowed only 2 hits and 1 run, walked 3, and struck out 4. Last night in a win, Miguel Gonzalez was even better. 7 2/3. He allowed 1 run on 5 hits. He did not walk a batter, and he struck out 5. And Mike Bordick, if you look at the O's and they're to get back in this race in the AL East, if they're going to play meaningful games going forward, the starting pitching has to be as good as it has been. It's all about the pitching, and in this series, they've showed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, going into the second half, the Orioles needed more consistency out of Chris Tillman and Miguel Gonzalez, and in this series, they're both outstanding. Miguel Gonzalez, a huge win for the Orioles in last night's ball game. Tillman threw a great game, 7 strong innings, but unfortunately, they came up short with that loss, so they needed a big bounce-back start. Miguel Gonzalez stepped up and threw an outstanding ball game. He's had great success here in the Trop. Of course, those two guys looking for consistency, but Wei-Yin Chen has been consistent all year long for the Orioles. He's been outstanding recently. 3 out of his last 6 starts, he's gone 8 innings. So he's tallying up that inning total, 6 1/3 strong innings against the Yankees. There you go, potential Gold Glove pitcher showing his defensive abilities there. But Wei-Yin Chen, he's keeping his walks down this year. He's got averaging under 2 walks per 9 innings. He's around the plate. He's averaging 15 pitches per inning. So he's been efficient for this team. He's been one of the most consistent starters for the Orioles all season long. Need him to have another quality game today because they're heading back home where they play their best baseball, and they really need to turn things around. It'd be nice if they could finish with a win here and get that momentum headed back home.
So it's the rubber game of 3 as the Birds look to make it back-to-back wins. Of course, with good pitching, you need good defense. When we come back, we'll visit with Gold Glove shortstop J.J. Hart. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Yes, it is Christmas in July at the Trop. Santa Claus greeting the fans as they come in here at Tropicana Field. Now, of course, you win with pitching and defense. Adam Jones anchors the outfield. J.J. Hardy anchors the infield for the Orioles. He has made 1 error all year. That's it. And that was on May the 12th. You see his current streak, best in the American League, 234 consecutive chances without an error, trailing only Johnny Peralta. And I spoke with J.J., who's won 3 Gold Gloves, about why the Orioles place so much emphasis on their defensive preparation.
I think it's all the information we get. You know, every batter, if he's got 100 ground balls during the season and 95 of them are to the right side, there's so much information out there that we can go over and know where we need to be playing.
Is it a challenge with all the shifting that goes on now, even within at bats?
It is, because certain guys are different. You might see us shift a guy one at bat, and the next at bat we're not shifting because there's just so many different things. If there's a runner in scoring position, maybe that guy's going to try and hit the ball the other way. There's so many things that factor in, and that's what's so tough for Bobby and I to figure out when we need to shift and when we don't.
How much do you get involved as the planning? Bobby says all the time you're the quarterback at the infield. How much do you get involved in planning the shifts?
I think Bobby and I talk about it a lot. There are certain guys that hit a lot of ground balls to one side of the infield, but other teams may not shift them, and if we shift them, they might be a type of guy that's going to hit the ball the other way because we're shifting. So there's a lot of things that factor in. Bobby and I spend a lot of time going over each guy.
One of the things about this team with the focus on defense, I get the impression that you'd be just as happy to win a game with your glove as you would with your bat.
I think a lot of us are like that. I mean, we do pay a lot of attention to defense and focus on it and take a lot of pride in it. So it's a big part of the game for us.
Last night was an uplifting win after losing 4 in a row. Is that the type of game that everybody now can relax and hopefully go on a surge?
Not relax. I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely a good thing. We got a chance to win the series today, but there's no relaxing. I mean, it was good for us to get that win, and we need to go out there and play it again today.
All right. So what do? You put the pedal to the metal and you go forward, hoping to build on.
Going, yeah. I mean, there's everyone has rough stretches, and we've been in kind of a rough stretch for a few weeks now, and we're trying to turn it around. But the more we think about it, the more we're going to press, and we just need to go out there and hopefully turn it around soon and keep it going. And
I would think with this team, because of the experiences the past few years, that's something you could play off of. You've been through this.
We know what we're capable of, and it's one of those things that we're just going to keep going, put one foot in front of the other, and just keep going.
Well, much of team success is based on the strength up the middle defensively. And J.J. Hardy, you mentioned it, the 3 Gold Gloves and having another outstanding year defensively, just 1 error on the season. And he talked about his leadership on the field, working hand in hand with infield coach Bobby Dickerson as far as adjusting to the shifts. They are on top of their game, best defense in all of baseball. And J.J. Hardy is the one that's leading the way. Pretty fascinating team where you have Hardy helping plan the defensive shifts in the infield, and you have Caleb Joseph and Matt Wieters, the game plan for the pitchers. they all get involved, and they're a big part of it. Our BGE home game time temperature indoors, we are climate controlled, 72 degrees, but still muggy inside, 55%. BGE home is Baltimore's home for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? So it's rubber game of 3. O's trying to get 2 out of 3. Here is the O's lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. David Lowe gets consecutive starts. He's in left field. Chris Davis DHing again. Manny Machado at third. Adam Jones loves Sundays, and he loves day games. 481 playing on Sunday. J.J. Hardy's at short. Nolan Reimold's in right today. Ryan Flaherty again at first. Then Jonathan Stope and Caleb Joseph. Let's take a look at Matt Moore's pitch arsenal this season. This will be his 5th start of the year since coming off of Tommy John surgery. Fastball 62% of the time, low 90s with the heater. Comes out of his hand pretty good. A breaking ball 23% of the time. Throws the curveball. You're going to see a cutter as well from Moore. Changeup is the 4-seam variety. Nice late fade and sink on that pitch. But the problem with Matt Moore this season, just the inconsistencies. He's averaging almost 5 walks per 9 innings. So Moore looking to find that consistent rhythm on the mound. Every inning it seems to be different, and he's already acknowledged this year he's been feeling for his mechanics. Well, he had the Tommy John surgery last year. That was on May the 8th. And he was recalled on July the 2nd. Here's David Lowe, and he'll take a strike, and we're underway. David had a real good game last night. Multi-hit game, utilizing his speed. And he earns himself another start. A little foul back, and it's 0-2. We asked Buck Showalter before the game about David Lowe and back-to-back starts. Buck has been saying for quite some time, like, somebody please take that left field job. Maybe David Lowe with the speed he brings, if he could get hot, he might take it. Boy, that would be nice to see David Lowe do that. We saw his ability to run the bases last night, the great speed, but it's keeping the ball on the ground that will help Lowe stay in this lineup. Well, there's a 3-pitch strikeout. Foul tip held by Kirk Casale and 1 away. Well, he's always had a good fastball, Moore. You see that good life at the top of the zone. Driving the ball. A little bit of movement there, and very aggressive with the heater, trying to establish it early in the game. So here's Chris Davis, who was the hero last night, as he remains hot. Davis now 22 home runs, 8th most in the league. And with his 4 ribbies last night, he now has 60. That is 7th best in the American League. He's got an 8-game hitting streak going as we begin play here today. And there's a ball. First one thrown by Matt Moore. Davis just 2 for 13 in his career against this left-hander. It was 14 months after Tommy John surgery back in the big leagues, and you would expect
the command would be the last thing to come back.
Yeah, it usually takes a full 2 years for a pitcher to get that feel for the baseball again. Led to these early inconsistencies, and it's going to be kind of interesting to find out what the Rays do with Moore. He does have an option left. Are they going to send him back down, try to work on those mechanics and find that consistency here? They're going to stick with him the rest of the year at the major league level. Only 1-1 in his 4 starts, and his earned run average up to 7.23. Needs to bring that down.
So Davis works the count full, 3-2. And he takes a 1-out walk. Close pitch, and Davis got the call. Well, Moore, his longest outing in his 4 starts, 5 innings. He's gone 4 2/3, 4 1/3, 5, and 4 2/3 in his last start. And that was a loss last Monday in Philadelphia. He was one of 26 major league pitchers to undergo Tommy John surgery last year. 26. Here's Manny Machado in the number 3 spot again. Manny is 8 for 27 on the road trip with a couple of home runs. And he pops up the first pitch. There's James Loney at first, and he's got it for the out. 2 down. Manny all of a sudden loves the first pitch in his first at bat.
Well, he's shown great patience, but I think like Buck Showalter trying to spark this Orioles offense. Man, he slid down into the 3-hole. It's a fastball that he likes, an aggressive swing there. But typically you see him working through at bats, leading the team in walks.
Here's Adam Jones. We showed you his numbers on Sunday. Adams in daytime games batting .368. And he has had overall a real good road trip. He has gone 13 for 34. That's a .382 clip on this trip.
Now, he started the month off hot. 5 home runs early. 5 home runs in July.
Didn't mean to swing. He pushed it past the pitcher. The second baseman gets it to first, not in time. Forsythe was shading up the middle. There's one time that the shift hurt Tampa Bay, as it was almost a bunt. He didn't mean to swing, and the ball hit the bat, and he gets an infield hit.
Yeah, gets fooled on a pretty good changeup from Moore. And with the infield shifted over, Forsythe tries the spectacular one-handed play, but Adam Jones once again smelling out that infield hit, flying down the line.
So the O's put 2 on with 2 down. Davis to second on the play. And here is the red-hot J.J. Hardy, who brings an 8-game hitting streak into today's game. As that batting average on the rise, it's up to .238. And he fouls it back 0-1. Now the Orioles trying to win this game and get back-to-back wins heading home. They have fared very well in rubber games on the year. This is their 15th, and they are 10-4 in the rubber games on the year to win series. And it's inside, a ball and a strike.
So in the Orioles clubhouse, kind of get that sense that the worm is turning a little bit. Played some pretty good games here on this road trip. A couple tough losses in New York, 1-run games. But they've been in just about every game and 1 or 2 hits away. The Orioles offense busting out in last night's ball game, which was really good to see. I hope they can keep that consistency going now and ride it the next couple months.
Well, after today, they go outside the division for a while. They have 3 interleague games beginning tomorrow at home against the Atlanta Braves. And then following Atlanta, the Tigers come in for 4. And then the Orioles head out for a 9-game West Coast road trip to Oakland, Anaheim, and Seattle. Hard hit ball, base hit left field, past the dive of Elmore. Here's Davis coming around. He's trying to score. The throw is up the line, and Davis is in there. It's a big 2-out base hit for the sizzling J.J. Hardy, and the Orioles break on top.
J.J. Hardy staying hot, keeping that hitting streak alive, and the top clutch hitters on this Orioles team. picking up a 2-out RBI here. They've struggled recently with runners in scoring position, but not for J.J. Hardy. You see Chris Davis at second base with a good secondary, and for the big man, he can really get it going. Orioles able to put the first run on the board.
So J.J. extends his hitting streak to 9 straight games, picks up RBI number 27. And here is Nolan Reimold. Jones stopped at second base. Towards the gap in left center field. That ball is over, and a diving try, and it's off the glove of Geyer. Here's Jones to score. Being sent around is J.J. Hardy. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Reimold and a quick 3-0 lead for the O's.
Moore showing that frustration. Reimold not wasting any time. Aggressive on the fastball up in the zone. Almost had it taken away from you. See the elevated fastball. He gets on it, and it's dive bombing. Great attempt out in center field by Geyer, but off the glove. J.J. Hardy had a nice read, play right in front of him as he was on first base, and he's able to score. Adam Jones.
So Nolan Reimold comes through with a big 2-out base hit. He now has 7 RBIs on the year. Those are his first RBIs on the road trip, and here's Ryan Flaherty. He fouls it back.
Well, I think this Orioles offense a pretty good plan. Now, Matt Moore has struggled with his command, so he wants to get that first strike. Very important. We've seen the Orioles very aggressive early in the count here against Moore, come up with some big hits.
Strike on the corner. It's 0-2. Nothing in 2 to count. Chris Davis through that walk. There's a bouncer to second base. Right there is Forsythe, and the inning ends as Ryan Flaherty bounces out. But a big first inning for the O's. They played 3. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Chen goes to work with a lead. He got 1 in, Reimold got 2 in, so the Orioles have a quick 3-0 lead. Here's the Rays lineup against Wei-Yin Chen. Geyer, Souza, and Longoria with Forsythe in the cleanup spot. Joey Butler gets a start in left field today. Big numbers against the Orioles on the year, 375. Loney's at first, then Beckham, Elmore, and Casale.
Now let's take a look at Wei-Yin Chen's pitch arsenal this season. The fastball has been very good, 65% of the time. Working it both in and out very effectively. The breaking ball has a slow curve and a hard, tight slider at 25% of the time, and the straight change. 18 starts for Chen, just 4 wins, but a 2.86 earned run average, only 25 walks on the year for Chen. He has given up the 17 home runs, and the Rays have hit him out of the yard 14 times. It's the most by any opponent against Wei-Yin Chen, so keeping the ball in the yard is going to be a key for him.
Well, Tampa Bay, off their lack of hitting in the first 2 games in this series, although on Friday night they did rally in the 8th inning and scored the 3 runs to pull out the 3-1 win. But they are now dead last in the American League in team batting. They're at 237 as a team. And the other number that matters in particular with the Orioles getting a quick 3-0 lead, they have scored 4 runs or less in 12 consecutive games. So they just don't have the depth and the hitting potential in this lineup to overcome these big early deficits. Kevin Cash's team, they try to manufacture runs, but when you fall behind quickly 3-0, that's tough to do.
Well, it really is, and we've seen Tillman and Gonzalez. This is a weaker offense than they're used to facing. Still have to make quality pitches. Do not give them opportunities.
Well, Mike mentioned the home runs that Chen has allowed, 17. However, 14 of those 17 home runs are solo. So if you're going to give them up, that's how you give them up. Not the big blows like Chris Davis last night. Got 4 runs in on 1 swing with a grand slam. 2-2 on Geyer. Off the foul again. Joseph will not have a play. And as Buck Showalter was saying last night, pitchers who have outstanding stuff, unfortunately, see a lot of foul balls hit off them. Here's Miguel Gonzalez with Jimmy Paredes. Miguel was terrific last night in picking up his 9th win. Here's the 7th pitch in this at-bat, and a pop-up Flaherty's going to call it first, and he's got it for the out. And one away. Let's get a look at our American Standard. Who's hot and who's not? Well, J.J. Hardy certainly is hot.
Yeah, 9-game hitting streak. Picked up a huge 2-out RBI, batting .345 with a homer, 5 RBI in that streak. Steven Souza Jr. not so hot. Last 15 games, just hitting .85 with 25 punch-outs.
Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. Here's Steven Souza Jr. He batted leadoff in the first 2 games, but with the left-hander on the mound, he moves down to number 2. Popped up foul wide of first. Over is Flaherty. He may have a play. He does have a play, and he makes the catch. So 2 pop-ups to Flaherty and 2 quick outs.
Nice running play right there by Ryan Flaherty. Let's take a look at the rest of the Orioles defense. Lowe, Jones, and Reimold in the Orioles outfield. Hardy and Scope up the middle. Machado over at third base. Flaherty at first. Caleb Joseph getting the start behind the plate.
Matt Wieters on the bench. He caught last night. He is still not catching back-to-back games. However, Buck Showalter said he was intending to play Matt at first base today to get another right-handed bat in there. But Matt's back stiffened up late in the game last night. So since he is scheduled to catch tomorrow, Buck didn't want to take any chances, so he is on the bench to begin the game. The good news is when Matt reported today, his back felt much better than it did last night.
That is good news. Matt Wieters was out taking ground balls at first base. First game of the series, early batting practice. So surprised if Matt Wieters plays a few games at first once the body starts feeling a little better.
Talking strategy with the skipper. You know, it's really a testament to the trust that Buck Showalter has in the players on this team, that he invites the players to be part of the planning with the coaching staff. It's not just here's what we want you to do. It's how do you think we should do it? Let's talk about this. Well, that was pretty enlightening. J.J. Hardy in that pregame interview we did about how he and Bobby Dickerson basically playing the infield defense.
Yeah, well, when you have veteran players that have had success like Hardy and Matt Wieters have had in this game, it just makes sense for coaches and managers alike to go to those players who've experienced, been on the field, and seen what hitters have done in those situations. And J.J. Hardy's seen every major league hitter. He knows how to anticipate what to expect from hitters. And he talked about those scouting reports that they get. They're on every tendency a hitter has, whether it be a fastball or a breaking ball.
Off the fists, popped them up, Hardy out, low in. And J.J. says, I got it. Didn't want to take his eyes off it in the roof. And Wei-Yin Chen has a 3-up, 3-down inning. H.W. Bush, who was a baseball man, by the way. Remember, he played at Yale, Ivy League. He was an all-Ivy League first baseman. Well, President Bush signed the Americans with Disabilities Act, a civil rights law for people with disabilities that would serve as a model policy for countries around the world. And it is so great to see fans with disabilities celebrating here at Tropicana Field as they enjoy Orioles baseball. And there's a couple of O's fans in the house. And everywhere you go now, you see the ramps that are built, and really a great law signed by President Bush 25 years ago. Here's Jonathan Scope leading off. And by the way, I was in error. Scope was at shortstop. It was Scope that caught that pop-up, not Hardy. I was giving JJ a little bit too much credit. He's everywhere, but he wasn't there.
Right. Well, with the amount of shifts that they go through in a ball game, easy to make that mistake.
Scope, Joseph, and then back to David Lowe as the Orioles sent 7 men to the plate in the first inning, scoring 3 runs. Matt Moore doing some manicuring on the mound. Now, Matt Moore, in his first 4 starts, Tampa Bay gave him a lead in all 4. He had the lead, and in all 4, he allowed the lead to slip away. Now, he did manage the 1 win after allowing a lead to slip away. The Rays scored in the next half inning while he was still the pitcher of record, so he did get credit for his 1 win. That was against the Astros. And a good take by Scope, and the count goes full 3-2.
Now you see the pitches at 26 already. Orioles able to really make him work in that first inning. He hasn't thrown more than 88 pitches in his first 4 starts, so monitor that. And Rays go to the bullpen early again.
Skies at the center field and deep, but it's playable for Brandon Geyer. And he's got it for the out. And one away here in the second. Here's our Express Stat by Express Care, a LifeBridge health partner. For locations, visit whywaitintheer.com.
Yeah, the Orioles offense was bound to break out. 4 runs on 5 hits in the 3rd inning yesterday. It's the first 5-hit inning since last Sunday, the 12th 5-hit inning of those games. 10-1 record. So it'd be nice if they'd get more multiple hit innings.
And the 5-hit inning last Sunday, that was the Orioles' last win prior to last night. So an opportunistic rally. Yeah, that win against the Red Sox in April, they actually had a pair of 5 hits or more in the inning. Caleb Joseph to deep left field, but right there is Joey Butler. And he's got it, and 2 men down. Maryland Lottery's contestant of the game, Robert Scott of Pomfret, has won $500 for being selected, and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play baseball buck scratch-offs and win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. Well, there's a cool Maryland Flagos hat. David struck out his first at bat. He's quietly been on a little bit of a tear, and you don't notice it as much because he hasn't been playing every day. And he's really been putting up some good numbers.
Start to swing the bat well. I think more at bats will settle in, feel more comfortable. He's had inconsistent playing time last couple of seasons.
Pops this up. Here comes the third baseman Elmore, and he's got it for the out. And the Orioles, after a big first inning, go quietly 3 up, 3 down in the second. O's with a 3-0 lead. In today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Chen, a 3 up, 3 down first inning on 15 pitches, looking to win his 5th of the year. Of course, the problem for Chen, and why that first inning for him was such a plethora of support. He gets just 3.4 runs per game in his run support for a full start. He got 3 runs in the first inning.
Good to see.
In 10 of his 18 starts, the Orioles have scored 2 runs or less. So when you look at Chen, you don't look at the 4 and 6 record. You look at the 2.86 ERA.
Yeah, his ability to keep this team in the ball game so important. Nice to see this Orioles offense start to put some runs on the board for him.
Popped up center field. Adam Jones is there. And 4 in a row retired. And of course, Chen, he has the ability and the consistency to get deep in games. Most starts of 7 innings or more on the O's. He has the most, 9. Ubaldo has 7. Miguel now has 6 after last night. Chris Tillman has 5. Mike Wright had 2 his first 2 starts with the O's before heading back to AAA. And Bud Norris 1. Chen tied for 14th most in the American League. Of course, that has been a challenge on the year, getting as deep in games as possible. And again, part of that also is the managerial strategy of Buck Showalter. Very often a pitcher will go 6 1/3, 6 2/3, and he may go to the bullpen for the final out because he likes that matchup better. But it's up to the starter to give him that option.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Buck Showalter really reads his starting pitchers. You know, if they've had laborious innings, takes that into account. It's less stressful. Let them work.
Well, Chen in his last 3 starts has not won a game, despite pitching to an ERA of 2.95. And the reason being, in those 3 starts, the Orioles got him a total of 5 runs. 5 runs of support in 3 starts total. Now Butler goes down on strikes in the high fastball and 2 away.
Well, Wei-Yin Chen's fastball coming up big again, and we've seen him. He's aggressive inside to the right-handed hitters. Leads this swing up and out of the strike zone. Wei-Yin Chen, like most of the Orioles pitchers, that extra life through the top of the zone. Gets Butler to swing through.
Here's James Loney, who was the only left-handed batter in the starting lineup. Chen, of his 17 home runs allowed, 14 have been by right-handed batters, only 3 by lefties. All 3 lefty home runs have been solos, and one of those home runs is to see the shift that Loney is hitting into. So again, the Orioles shift. Loney has one of those 3 left-handed home runs off Chen. Sin-Soo Choo of Texas and Brandon Moss of Cleveland, the other left-handed batters who have gone deep on Chen.
Wei-Yin susceptible to giving up the long ball to the righties. Loves to pitch in if there are mistakes made. It's typically one of the pitches they're able to get to, but he had a problem early on with his breaking ball, especially with 2 strikes. If he was trying to put a hitter away, getting ahead, he'd leave the breaking ball on the plate. And he's given up too many 2-strike home runs this year.
Loney taking all the way, so he gets a strike. For Chen, it's already his 4th start against the Rays this year. He's 0-1 with a couple of no decisions. Right to Machado, who's there in the shift. And then he gets it across, and back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings for Wei-Yin Chen. We're through 2 at the Trop. The O's have a 3-0 lead.
An 8-game hitting streak, 3 home runs, 8 RBI, and that streak yesterday, the grand slam. Now it's time for the Jeep inside the numbers. Speaking of home runs, highest percentage of runs allowed by way of the home run, and the Orioles leading the way at 42.3%. They've given up 160 home runs, and 378 runs have come by way of that long ball. The Rays right behind them, 154 home runs.
And Davis swings through it as he leads off here in the 3rd. Machado and Jones will follow. Chris worked a walk on a real close 3-2 pitch that got the Orioles going in the 1st. And he rips it to center field for a base hit. Well, they were shifting. Nobody was right up the middle. And Davis extends his hitting streak now to 9 consecutive games. Well, Mike, talking about all of the runs that the Orioles score on home runs, and it is critical for the Orioles to win. Look at this. The Orioles have 47 wins. 40 when they hit a home run. They're 40-25. Very good winning percentage when they homer. Just 7-24 when they don't hit a home run. And of course, Manny Machado and Chris Davis are the home run leaders. Chris with 22 and Manny with 21. Manny popped up his first at bat. So Davis extends his hitting streak to 9 straight. 11 for 33 in that hitting streak. And Matt Moore allows the leadoff man to reach and misses inside to Manny Machado.
Manny, after swinging at the first pitch fastball, just a pair of shoes there, taking the first pitch. Make Matt Moore work a little bit here.
And down and in, there's back foot. Moore in his career 4-3 against the O's. He missed 451 days from his last start last year to the Tommy John surgery in early May till they came back in July. Off speed pitch for a strike.
One thing this Rays staff has done for a number of years now is command of that real good changeup and great velocity differential as well. A lot of it can be attributed to their pitching coach, John Hickey, but they've had some great arms and know how to use the change. And Moore, the young pitcher, starting to find that changeup. Pretty good one there to Manny Machado.
Manny rips it foul down the line. Nice play by the ball boy. So Davis back to first, 3-2 on Machado. Orioles head home after the game. It's been a long road trip. They left on Thursday, July 16th, which was the final day off of the All-Star break. Had it worked out in Detroit. 3 games in Detroit. They spent 4 days in New York and now 3 days here. So by the time they touch down at BWI tonight, it will have been 11 days away from Baltimore to begin the second half. And then they're only home for a week and they go out again. 3-2 is hit deep but foul. And it hits one of the catwalks up above and falls down in the Orioles bullpen.
Be aware of those catwalks. It hits the rings. Second one in play. It's fair. It's still in play. You know, they can actually cordon out off that. So all the fielders have to be aware.
So another 3-2 pitch to Machado. And he got him. Foul tip held by Casale. So Manny down on strikes, one away. That's a second strikeout for Moore.
Not too often you see Manny expand the zone after Moore working aggressively in. It goes up and away with the heater. Manny sees it but can't quite get to it. The ball sailing up and over the bat head.
Here's Adam Jones, who got a base hit and infield hit on a check swing. The Rays in the shift, and he didn't mean the swing, and the ball hit the bat. He pushed it past Moore, and by the time Forsythe, the second baseman, got to it, Adam had legged out an infield hit. And he fouls it back 0-1. Here's our Maryland Live Casino inside the numbers. Highest career batting averages against a certain pitcher. Well, Adam Jones, let's see, he's 500 against Scherzer. He's good. 500 against Moore. He was good and will be again. 421 against Casey Jansen. 409 against Luke Hochevar. And 390 against Mark Burley, who was also very good.
Yeah.
Adam likes to hit against the best.
He sure does. And he's got the good numbers against Matt Moore. 2 home runs, 7 RBI as well.
And that hit him. Davis is running around to third. He doesn't realize that Adam was hit by the pitch. So that's a dead ball, and Chris will go back to second. Because it bounced in the dirt, Chris didn't see that it hit Adam on the foot. So he'll go to second and Adam on at first. So the Orioles have 2 on with 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Hard. So hit him on the knee.
Yeah, that hard breaking ball down and in to Adam Jones. Catching him on that back leg. Puts it down and off the shin, knocking him off his feet. Nice job by Chris Davis, though. See the ball bounce away and then getting the head up. Aggressive in the 3rd, but sent back to second base on the hit by pitch.
J.J. Hardy got the first run in with a single, his first at bat. And it's up and away, 1-1. It's encouraging to see Hardy coming on, Davis coming on. Jones has been there. Manny with the home runs. If some of the supplemental players, if you will find their strokes, this team could be on to something in the second half. They need Parmelee to break out of it. They need Snyder to break out of it. Reimold broke out of it today, which is a good sign. Lowe had a big game last night. You know, Hardy and Jones and Davis and Machado, they're going to play every day, so you need them to carry the team with the consistency. But they can't do it all alone. And pitch on the upper end of the strike zone, ball, 2-2.
Well, I don't think you can have everybody hot at once. It would certainly be nice if the Orioles offense could do that. But it seems like this team, when they go down, it seems like everybody goes down for an extended period of time. Nice to keep 3 or 4 hitters hot.
And Hardy goes down on strikes on a real good breaking ball. So 3rd strikeout for Moore and 2 away.
Now Moore's best breaking ball of the game so far after working up in the zone to Hardy. Look at this one drop about 80 miles an hour. Real tight spin on the curveball, and Hardy just can't quite get to it. So it drops down and in.
There's Reimold, who doubled on the first pitch he saw the 2nd inning off the glove of a diving Brandon Geyer in left center field. And he'll take ball 1. Buck Showalter was saying before the game that he wants David Lowe and he wants Nolan Reimold to use their athleticism to their advantage in games. And that one gets by Casale. Both runners are going to advance. He may have been crossed up. That was a catchable ball.
That just took off. And I think Casale just trying to figure out more. And this ball just takes off down and in. Cut fastball that Casale can't come down with.
And it was ruled a wild pitch. Moore looks thinner than he appeared to be when he pitched against the Orioles last year. I guess when you spend all that time rehabbing, you had a lot of time to work out.
Right.
To reinvent your body. And they're going to walk Reimold intentionally with the left-handed batter Flaherty on deck. Already down 2-0 in the count. And there's ball 4, an intentional walk. So Ryan Flaherty will come up. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag OsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. All brought to you by T-Mobile. Those fans in the house. Got to meet several of them before the game today. I met a fan, Dan, before the game, who said he and his family flew down here for the weekend series so they could see the O's on the road.
Nice.
So bases loaded, 2 down. Here's Flaherty. Line towards right field. Diving stop by Forsythe. He just saved 2 runs. Outstanding play by Forsythe. And the O's are down in the 3rd. They'll strand the bases loaded. West.com and by Royal Farms world famous chicken and western fries, made fresh, never frozen, real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms. Gordy, what do you say we head there? A couple of chairs.
Sounds good.
A little sunblock.
Finally the sun came out, right?
Hey, look, your fedora. you lent it to that guy. You still have that, I hope.
Absolutely.
I have the picture of you modeling it. I don't want an inaccurate picture. Chen has retired all 6 he's faced. So 26 pitches to get through the first 2 innings. Here's Tim Beckham. Elmore and Casali to follow, lower 3rd of the lineup. This one sliced down the right field line. That is fading back and is foul. So Beckham, trying to be aggressive, goes after the first pitch.
Beckham getting a lot more playing time as Drupal Cabrera, a great shortstop, playing outstanding defense for this team, went down with a hamstring pull. So Beckham getting another opportunity to show what he's got at shortstop. See his batting average at .229. He's done most of his damage against lefties this year, though, hitting at a .280 clip in 3 of his home runs. Left-handed pitching.
And a little bit low, good take by Beckham. As play began today, the Orioles are still 7 games back of the Yankees. The Yankees had a wild comeback win at Minnesota last night. They were down 5-0 and they won it. So the Yankees have won 7 of their last 10, while the Orioles have lost 7 of their last 10. The Blue Jays yesterday also had a come-from-behind win. Bounced to Machado at 3rd. Manny Glove. And slings it across to get Tim Beckham. And one away here in the Tampa Bay 3rd. Don't forget, tomorrow night the O's are back home for the first time since the All-Star break. They'll begin a 3-game interleague series with the Atlanta Braves. And on Tuesday night, don't miss the season's next Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All the upper reserve seats are just $10. Welcome back your birds and save. For your tickets online, Orioles.com or 888-8481. Jake Elmore shows bunt, and he takes a strike. Machado deep at 3rd.
Almost daring Elmore to lay one down, and he so proficient at that barehanded play. Not many teams taking chances. The bunt on Machado. He's played an outstanding defense this year. He's redefining that 3rd base position with the depth that he plays and that cannon arm that he possesses.
Little bit high with the fastball, 1-2. Elmore is in a 2-for-16 drought. He's batting at .203. Chen has retired 7 in a row to begin the game. Line to right, but it hangs for Reimold. Nolan's right there. And he has it for the out, 2 away. Mike, let's look at our PNC minor league report.
Another impressive one as well. Take a look at Jorge Rondon. Yesterday, 2 1/3 innings pitch, only giving up a couple hits, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. 36 pitches, 24 for strikes, so all around the zone this season. A 2-1 record, 2.06 earned run average. Power arm. Rondon picked up on waivers back in May. Rockies let him go. He's done some nice things, added depth there. Good fastball, mid-90s.
He did appear in 2 games with the Rockies this year. Most of his experience in the minor leagues is Casale, skies at the Jones. Adam waits, and Wei-Yin Chen has his 3rd consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning, 9 in a row retired by the Orioles left-handers. Same inductees: Craig Biggio, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, and John Smoltz. Randy Johnson pitched in college at USC. He's only the 2nd player to go through that program to be inducted at Cooperstown. The other was Tom Seaver. I was stunned when I saw that. Craig Biggio is the 1st from Seton Hall University, whereas Pedro is from the Dominican Republic. Smoltz signed out of high school. So they all got their different ways, and here are the teams, Mike, without Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Los Angeles Angels, believe it or not. They came into the league back in '61. The Mariners, Rockies, Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays broke in 1998. The Nationals yet to have a Hall of Famer. Great group being inducted this season. Biggio with the 3,000 hits. A lot of Cy Young awards between those 3 pitchers as well, right?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Some of the national media saying, well, you know, Biggio shouldn't be there. So what? He got 3,000 hits. He was a compiler. Don't you have to be good and consistent for a long time to be a compiler?
Absolutely.
And a foul back. Now, I should point out, because I know somebody at home is saying, well, wait a minute. Wade Boggs played at Tampa. His numbers retired here, but he went into the Hall as a Red Sox. See, it used to be that if you played on multiple teams, you could select what hat you wore, and you went in as that organization's representative. It was the 2-1 pitch. It's called strike. But then players started doing clever marketing things, and the Hall of Fame said, you know what? This is our hall. We're going to tell you you go in this. There's a weak ground ball hit against the shift, and Scope's going to have an infield base hit. He could not have placed it there if he had his hand and threw it.
Jonathan Scope with that same smile that Adam Jones had when he beat the shift with some weak contact the other way. Broken bat as Moore is just driving that fastball in on Scope. Breaks the bat. It's a little bit of a spin as it kicks away from Forsythe. And there you go. Adam Jones loving it.
So the Orioles with their base hit. Here's Caleb Joseph. Goes with a 3-run first inning. And this one's drilled deep left field. Back it goes. It is gone for Caleb Joseph. There's number 7 for the Orioles catcher, and it's a 5-0 Orioles lead.
Is a sweet swing from Caleb Joseph. He's been looking for it. He just found it. A bomb deep at the trop. Caleb's 7th of the year, and he got around on an inside heater for Moore. Great swing, and another smile from the Orioles offense.
And a smile from Robert Scott of Pomfret, our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game, who has just won another $500 as a result of that Caleb Joseph home run. Caleb now has 4 RBIs on the road trip.
Moore wanting that fastball down and away, but look how Caleb pulls the hands in tight, recognizing the heater, and he stays behind this baseball very well. Get any kind of movement forward on a hard fastball in like that, and you're going to jam yourself, be able to square the ball up. Caleb stayed behind. That's the bat head out in front.
1-2 on David Lowe, who is hitless, 0 for 2 in the game. So let's see, is Matt admiring the home run, or is he getting on him? Caleb's doing all the laughing. 98 miles an hour to get out of here. And Matt maybe critiquing the swing, or
Matt probably saying, well, I got 5 more home runs here at the Trop. How many do you have? He's got a couple here.
We're all talking hitting there. Staying back on the ball. This is bounced to second base. Forsythe will get David Lowe, and one away here in the Oriole 4th inning. Well, the space is running out for Tuesday night, the special pregame Birdland social party on the center field roof deck. A limited number of tickets starting as low as $30 are still available. It includes a game ticket, access to the pregame party, a catered menu, drink coupons, and an exclusive T-shirt. And the event also includes a Q&A session with Hall of Famer Jim Palmer and Rock Kabatko of MassonSports.com. So don't miss out. Reserve your spot. Orioles.com/BirdlandSocial. Chris Davis, a productive day so far. He has walked and scored, and he has singled to extend his hitting streak to 9 straight. You know, you look to last inning. Moore was very fortunate. Bases were loaded, 2 down, and Ryan Flaherty hit a line drive that looked like it was going to end up in right field for a base hit, and he was robbed by Forsythe. His score would be even more out of whack if not for that great play by Forsythe. Head first dive. Bounced in there. That was a 50-foot fastball.
You can see the inconsistencies with Moore. Inability to get that curveball over when he wants to. Fastball's been up in the zone. He's made some good pitches, but there again, it's been kind of a mix. Inning something different.
Davis fouls it back the other way. Chris has an RBI in 4 consecutive games, so he has a hitting streak plus an RBI streak. Caleb Joseph, a 2-run shot for a 5-0 lead, and Chris goes down and strikes. Good off-speed pitch inside.
A real good changeup there. Most opposing staffs give this Orioles offense a ton of off-speed pitches. They're a quality changeup from Moore as it fades down and in on Slugger Davis.
Breaking ball is outside to Manny Machado. Manny 0 for 2. He has struck out and he has popped up. Chase ball 4 his last at bat on a fastball that sailed, and he put a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Kurt Casale. So Matt Moore, his 5th start since coming back. And the Tommy John surgery last May. Manny right back to Moore, who gloves it. And he gets it to Machado, or gets Machado at first on the throw to Loney. So Caleb Joseph gets into one. He hits it deep out to left field for a 2-run home run and a 5-0 Orioles lead. They're back home at Camden Yards, and first up, the Atlanta Braves 3-game interleague series. Kevin Gausman will be on the mound against Alex Wood in the opener. Our coverage on Masson begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on Masson.
I'll take a look ahead here at the Braves preview. 45-52 record this season. They are 7.5 games back in the National League East. It's going to be a homecoming for Markakis. Another solid offensive year. 288 batting average, 32 RBI. Does have a 370 on base percentage with his 46 walks.
Check swing by Brandon Guyer right to Flaherty. He'll take it himself. One out. Buck was asked before the game by one of the beat reporters what kind of a reception he believes Markakis will get in his return to Camden Yards, and Buck said, outstanding. He should get it.
Yeah.
And he's right. But Nick was a great Oriole. He had his right as a free agent to look elsewhere. That's the players negotiate that in the basic agreement, and he went to Atlanta. But he was a great Oriole. Still has his home in Baltimore County. So I would expect he'll get a very good ovation.
Gold Glove right fielder there, and Buck made reference to him playing that right field in Camden Yards as well as anybody's ever seen. I mean, a pretty tricky right field, their home park, and Nick Markakis handled it as well as anybody.
1-1 on Souza. There's a strike at the knees. Wow, if he can puddle that pitch inside corner at the knees to the right-handed batter.
He's been very effective with that pitch. Caleb Joseph sensing real good command of the heater, and he is in attack mode right now.
Chen has just one strikeout. Good cut there.
Trying to protect Wei-Yin Chen. Gonzalez and Tillman before him. Nice job of getting ahead. Rays hitters on the defense.
And he got him on an outstanding changeup.
Well, a steady diet of fastballs working both in and out there to Sosa Jr. And finishes him off with a nasty breaking ball. 76 miles an hour. Showing itself on the plate and then drops down and away to get Sosa. It's slower than his slider. Look how far out in front Sosa is. It's because of that fastball usage from Chen.
Here's Longoria with 2 men down. Foul. Longoria popped up into the shift his first at bat, and Stope caught it in shallow left field. Longoria came in batting .338 against left-handed pitching. Rips that one. That is foul down the line.
Well, that slider left up a little bit, but it was located very well. It was boring in on the hands of Longoria. Not a lot a hitter can do on that pitch. To pull it foul, you really have to pull the hands inside and almost force it back into the playing field to keep it fair.
Chen's ahead 0-2, 2 outs, none on. We're in the 4th. This ball's crushed deep left center field. David Lowe back, and that ball is gone. Too much of the plate on an 0-2 pitch, and Longoria hits it out. His 10th of the year makes it 5-1 O's. So the first hit allowed by Chen also spoils the shutout.
Now 15 solo home runs given up by Wei-Yin Chen, totaling 18 home runs on the year. And Wei-Yin Chen gets ahead. Caleb wants it up and out of the zone, but Longoria able to stay on top of the fastball. It's it on the good part of the wood and hammers it out of the yard.
So he didn't get it high enough. Way ahead 0-2. He could have thrown it way up. And there's another ball hit deep left field. Forsythe. David Lowe looks up. That ball is gone. Rays go back to back, and it's 5-2.
Well, the Rays have really given Chen a problem in his career. Talked about it at the beginning of the game. Has given up more home runs to the Rays than any team he's faced. Now 16 home runs given up. Back-to-back solo shots here. Trying to get ahead with that fastball in, and it stays right down the middle of the plate. And Forsythe, who has been red hot for the Rays, picks up his 11th home run of the season.
There's Joey Butler. And he goes to right field and deep. Reimold back on it. That's over his head and against the wall. Nolan will get it back in, and Butler has a double. 3 consecutive bullets off Chen.
We're all on the fastball. And we talked about Chen's fastball usage. Yeah, he had great command, but now the second time through, the Rays figuring it out. They're aggressive on the heater. And 3 bullets back-to-back. 2 left the yard. Butler with a double. It'd be time to start mixing in the changeup first pitch or the breaking ball.
Well, Dave Wallace out for a chat. All this after 2 outs and nobody on. He got ahead of Longoria 0-2. Longoria hit it out. Forsythe jumped on the first pitch. Butler jumped on the first pitch.
You know when you go up against Wei-Yin Chen, you're going to see some fastballs. But Chen relies on the ability to locate it. And he's been so dominant working it inside hard to right-handed hitters. And he can get it into lefties as well. And then the secondary pitches will play up. you're riding that fastball early in the game, 78% of the time, you're starting to get on the heater. Definitely time to start mixing in a few different looks.
There's James Loney, and he does. Throws on the breaking ball. Loney lets it go by for a strike. So Chen allows the Rays to get back in it, but the O's still have a 3-run lead. Trying to get out of this inning. Runner in scoring position with 2 down. This one's lifted shallow left center field. David Lowe will get to it. Makes a sliding catch. David Lowe with his speed caught up to it, and that ends the inning. But the Rays get 2. They're back in it. We'll head to the 5th. 5-2 O's. Fans at the game that night against the Tigers will receive a glove Orioles t-shirt that was designed by Gold Glove winning shortstop J.J. Hardy. So celebrate the O's, celebrate J.J. Hardy, and add to your Birdland wardrobe. For your tickets, Orioles.com or call 888-848-BIRD.
Definitely be a fan favorite shirt. J.J. Hardy having another incredible defensive year. Just 1 error on the season, riding a 60-game errorless stretch.
J.J. will bat second. Here's Adam Jones to lead off. Adam has been on base twice. He had a check swing infield hit and a run score. Then he was hit by a pitch and left stranded. Swings through a fastball from Matt Moore, who begins his 5th inning. He needed 72 pitches to get through 4 innings. And it's outside.
So early in the game, Moore trying to find that fastball command. Made a couple mistakes. The Orioles were able to get to him. Second time through, started mixing in some breaking balls and the changeup. Changeup, best secondary pitch rate now. Seeing the inconsistencies with that big curve. Throwing it for a strike 1 time.
Moore is at Moriarty, New Mexico. Drafted by the Rays out of high school. Swing and a miss, good off-speed pitch. Alex Colomé getting loose. He got the win the other night. He was the pitcher of record when the Rays got 3 in the bottom of the 8th. He also made friends with Manny Machado. 2-2 on Jones, leading off in the Orioles' 5th. And foul back.
Jones, after getting out in front on the changeup down at the bottom of the zone, backs up the fastball. Just to get by him, fouling it deep down the right field line.
Down the right field line and foul. Faded foul.
Take a look at the trio of players with 15 or more home runs this season. And Adam Jones, part of the Davis Machado group for the Orioles. Of course, American League East, well represented by the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Tigers at their sluggers. Martinez, Cabrera, Cespedes, and Houston. Also has 3 players with 15 or more homers.
So Adam with a good at-bat, works the count full, 3-2. This will be the 8th pitch in this at-bat. Fouls it back. Matt Moore, 30-18 in his career. This is his 66th major league start. He was a budding ace, and then the Tommy John surgery. Now trying to work his way back. And Adam pulls it in the left field for a base hit on the 9th pitch of the at-bat. So Adam is 2 for 2. His 29th multi-hit game, and he's on with a leadoff single.
A great at bat from Adam Jones. Saw just about everything Moore had to offer. After just missing a fastball 3-2, it's out in front on the changeup. You see how Adam Jones uses his legs and those long arms, able to keep that bat head through the zone, square it up, and shoot it through the 5-6 hole.
J.J. Hardy now. He'll look at a strike on the outside corner. J.J. drove in the Orioles' first run with a 2-out single in the first to extend his current hitting streak to 9 straight games.
Kind of tell J.J. feeling pretty good at the plate right now, starting to get into his legs a little bit more. He's changed his stance a few times this year. And of course, many times we've seen J.J. have to make some adjustments, do some early injuries, some back problems, and tightened up, so he's had to modify the swing a little bit, but he's looking free and easy. He's pulling a lot more balls, and look at the wrist getting active and get that bat head out in front.
This will be back in the crowd. Bounces on the dugout first. Well, one of your former teammates used to change his stance quite regularly. Mr. Ripken.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think hitters go by feel. And J.J. and Cal alike, trying to find the best way to get the bat head to the ball. And at times you might not feel like you have the bat speed, so you make some adjustments. At times you might feel like your body's just leaking forward a little too much, so do some different things with your leg positioning.
There's a double play ball. Beckham, Forsythe back to first in a double play. 6-4-3. Hit it right off the end of the bat. So that erases the leadoff single and 2 down.
Beckham handling the one hopper pretty easily. Forsythe able to complete the double play.
So 2 down. Here's Nolan Reimold, who drove in 2 runs with a double in the first. He was given an intentional walk in the third. And there's another base hit for Nolan Reimold. So Reimold has a 2-hit game, his 3rd multi-hit game on the year. Now, fans, be sure to text Masson's word of the day, which is bold, to 29292 for your chance to win a meet and greet with Buck Showalter. All brought to you by Outback Steakhouse, where the No Worries Wednesdays menu is now available on Sundays. Bold, B-O-L-D. So Reimold is on with his 2nd hit. The Orioles' 8th hit in this game. And Flaherty a comebacker right to Moore. We'll get it to first, and that ends the inning. So the Orioles have 2 hits in the inning, but strand 1 and don't score. Mid-5th, 5-2 O's. The Park, it's coming up Saturday, August 1st. All the proceeds benefit critically ill children and their families. Visit KCCares5k.org to register and check out their website and all the information on all the wonderful things that organization does. Brian Mattis is the honorary chairperson who is involved with Orioles Reach. So congratulations to everybody, and we hope we all can come out and have a good time and help raise some money. Yep, it's all about the kids. Orioles fans having fun here today. Here's Tim Beckham leading off. Channel out a pair of solo home runs last inning.
And they got to Wei-Yin Chen in the 4th. A little too fastball happy. You see 74% fastballs to this point. Caleb's starting to mix in the off-speed pitches to get ahead. His Rays lineup.
High fly ball to right. Nolan Reimold, a long run, charging fast, gets there, overruns it, and it's a fair ball. And Beckham will be on at second base. Nolan had a long way to go, and he actually overran the ball.
Well, the Trop, a very tough roof to pick up the baseball, but he never takes his eyes off it, just over boogies. Long way to run, and takes 1 or 2 extra steps as the ball lands over his head in, unfortunately, fair territory. Beckham on second base.
And because Reimold didn't touch that ball, they're going to give Beckham a double, but that should have been caught. Once you get there, you got to make the play. So a runner at second and nobody down. And a bunt popped up in the air, and Caleb a diving try, but he can't get there. What an effort by Caleb Joseph.
Caleb's coming out of the chute very quick when he recognizes the hitter get into that bunt setup. Caleb jumping up, head right up, picking up the baseball. Nice diving effort. Unfortunately doesn't get hurt as that glove hand gets tucked underneath the body and folded behind him. Diving in vain right there, I think. Sometimes it might be easier on the body to just dive and land on the turf than try to stop yourself getting your feet up.
There's a base hit to left field. David Lowe will play it on a hop. Being held at third base is Beckham. So here come the Rays, who have made some adjustments here. They had 3 hits last inning, 2 solo home runs. And now they have back-to-back hits here. Although the Beckham hit should have been an out. But Showalter looking on as now the tying run comes to the plate.
No concern here. Rays some problems with runners in scoring position this season, but particularly here in July, much like the Orioles. Have an opportunity a little closer.
Rays are 218 with runners in scoring position. That's 14th out of 15 teams in the league. Kurt Casale, the catcher, breaking balls high. Runners in scoring position number. Rays 1 out of 2. O's are 2 for 5 in this game. First and third, nobody down. There's a breaking ball for a strike. So if Beckham is at third, Colome and Gelt's now getting loose. You play the scoreboard math. If Beckham scores, fine, but try not to let Elmore come around the score from first. Don't let Tampa Bay build a big inning here. It's a fastball by him. 1-2.
So got to get back into the slow him down, speed him up. That category, a little late on the fastball, up and away after a first pitch or a first strike breaking ball. There are times when a pitcher has to pick up his defense, help him out.
Popped him up, shallow right. Reimold coming. And no one has it for the out. Not deep enough for Beckham to try to tag. So a huge out for Chen as Reimold got in on it.
A huge first out right there. Nice job by Wei-Yin Chen. Jam shot out here. And lets it go a long way in to make this play. He's deep in right field. See, Adam Jones has more of a line on that ball, he thinks, than Reimold.
But you know what? That's good communication because Reimold was coming in on it, facing the field. If Adam had caught it, he would have been running towards the foul line and would have had to turn the throw back in. That's real good communication. Adam letting Reimold take that.
Nice play. Seen them communicate out there. Now, Adam Jones seems like he plays with a different corner outfielder every night. You better be talking, be on the same page.
Here's Brandon Guyer, who's 0 for 2. Just inside 1-0.
So the huge first out with runners at first and third. Now Caleb and Wei-Yin can go to work and work the bottom of the zone, try to get a ground ball here. Chen out of this inning.
Foul back, 1-1 to count. Moore's day is likely done. He's thrown 87 pitches. And in his prior 4 starts, he did not have any starts where he reached 90 pitches. Coming back from the Tommy John surgery. 1-1 on the leadoff man, Brandon Guyer. Swings through it, 1-2.
Too quick there, left that fastball up arm side. Continue to stay over the front side and drive it downhill if he wants to bury that fastball into the righties.
1-2 on Guyer, and he hits him. So he's given up a home run on an 0-2 pitch. Now way ahead of Guyer, he hits him on a 1-2 pitch, and that loads the bases. and brings a home run hitter to the plate, representing the go-ahead run.
Maybe gotten a little shaken up with a little offensive outburst by the Rays in the fourth with the 2 solo home runs and double and a single, and tries to get the fastball in, but just way too far in.
Here's Souza. Big moment in this game for the Orioles and for Chen. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Caleb, and that for the moment has saved the run. Tommy Hunter now getting loose in the Orioles pen.
Take a look at the block here by Caleb Joseph, down on both knees, getting that chest over the top of the baseball, just close enough. Wei-Yin Chen, a nice job covering home with the bases loaded.
Bases loaded, 1 down. Potential go-ahead run at the plate. Vicious swing, and he fouled it back. But Souza can be pitched to. There's no doubt about that. He came in batting at 208, and he's 0 for 2. But he does have 15 home runs, and he does have 25 extra base hits. So he's a dangerous hitter, even though he's an inconsistent hitter. So there's the fastball.
Showing a little bit more patience as the season has gone on. Susceptible to strikeout as well. 115 Ks on the year. 116 Ks after striking out his last at bat.
Well, that was the big pitch. You don't want to go 3-1 with the bases loaded, and Souza swung through it.
He senses that Chen doesn't want to fall behind either, so expanding the zone. It's getting big, hunting heater, and it rides up to the top of the strike zone. Swings through.
So 2-2 on Souza. Bases loaded, 1 down. Wouldn't chase, ball 3.
A good pitch. That's where you want to throw that slider. Bury it down and in. Nice job to take.
Well, Souza has struck out 115 times on the year. There's nowhere to put him. Three and 2 with 1 down. Struck him out. Strike 3 called. Ooh. Souza thought he had worked the walk, and Chen got it in there.
Boy, that is a great fastball from Wei-Yin Chen. Look at Caleb Joseph's glove, doesn't move it an inch. Perfect pitch, clutch pitch, 3-2 count, and locks him up on the fastball dotted on the inside corner.
So Souza not looking inside, and that's exactly where Chen put it. But he's not out of it yet. Here's Longoria, the Rays' best hitter. A little bit high, 1-0. It had plenty of the plate. Longoria homered his last at-bat. That was the first hit allowed by Chen. Chen retired the first 11 batters in this game. He has also popped up to scope at second base. It's foul, 1-1.
Longoria hit a solo shot in the last inning. Take a look at his power zone as the fastball, third fastball of that at bat, catches the red danger zone. Longoria, of course, best power hitters in the game. Knows what to do with mistakes.
Here's the 1-1. It's bounced towards Machado at third. Manny will get it across the first just in time to get Longoria. That was a slow developing play, but Manny makes the play, and Chen gets out of a major jam. Our Mazda do-ups as we go to the 6th. Jonathan Stope, Caleb Joseph, and David Lowe, 8-9-1 for the O's.
4% fastballs, a breaking ball couldn't find it early, so went to the changeup. The secondary pitch, only 5 innings thrown, 87 pitches, still hasn't gotten over the 90 pitch mark. And he's going to give way to the bullpen. Alex Colomé coming in. Fastball 80% of the time. Pretty good fastball, easy cheese, 93 to 96. Breaking ball, a slider and a curve with the change. Primary off-speed pitch, 50 punch outs, 25 walks in his 76 and a third inning of work. Started the season in the rotation, but mixed results. Sent back to the bullpen after Odorizzi and Moore came off the DL. Opponent's hitting 288 overall. He's a fly ball pitcher, 56% of his outs in the air, and has given up 9 home runs.
He worked a scoreless inning on Friday night. It was the 8th inning. He did hit Manny Machado. It looked like it might have been some retaliation for Chris Tillman hitting Tim Beckham. But it made no sense because at the time the Orioles had a 1-0 lead. There was 1 out, nobody on, and he put a base runner on. Nothing came of it, and then Tampa Bay got 3 in the bottom of the 8th to take the lead, and Colomé was credited with the win. Scope was 1 out of 2. That's a foul out of play. And Colomé gets ahead, 0-2.
Colomé said a interesting last few years. Had some elbow problems. Been suspended coming into this spring. Had some visa issues and then went down with pneumonia. So he has missed plenty of time over the last few seasons.
Overthrows the fastball, 1-2 on Scope. Jonathan now has 8 hits on the road trip. And a good take. Pitch in the dirt.
A hard slider, his best put away pitch. So getting ahead of Jonathan Scope, trying to get to bite on the slider down in the dirt. It looked like a hard fastball, but late finish. He showed it a little too soon there out of the strike zone.
And Jonathan fights it off to stay alive. That pitch was heading for the inside corner, and he's fouled it back. Two and 2 on Scope, leading off in the 6th. Upstairs, ball 3. Rays asking for the appeal, but denied by Bill Welke. So Scope goes from 0-2 to a full count. And got him. Stayed upstairs with the fastball, so Colomé gets the K and 1 away.
Challenging him with the heater at the top of the zone. Has a little natural cut on that 4-seam fastball and good velocity as well. Late movement riding at the top of the zone to get Scope.
1 down. Here's Caleb Joseph. 1 out of 2. Hit a 2-run home run his last at bat. Nearly hit him. It's inside, 1-0. O's have out hit the Rays 8-5 and lead it 5-2. Here's his home run in the 4th inning. He got all of it.
Yes, he did. A missed fastball, supposed to be down and away, and it leaks in off the plate. But Caleb able to pull the hands in with the barrel to it. That's a bomb here at the Trop.
Fastball for a strike.
See Caleb's power zone and take a look at the fastball location. 3 or 4 inches in off the plate. Can do a lot of things right. Square up a ball there. Caleb did.
Two and 2. Colomé has been a career Tampa Bay Ray. Signed. He began his career for the 2007 season. dirt ball 3. So back-to-back hitters, he goes 3-2. Rays wearing their Sunday home jerseys, the pale blue. Right field off the end of the bat. Souza back on it. And he's got it for the out. And 2 away here in the Orioles' 6th inning. Well, mark your calendars. The next fireworks night at Oriole Park comes up on Friday night after the Orioles take on the Tigers at 7:05. Stay around after the game. The Birdland skies will light up with a dazzling display presented by Kaiser Permanente. So good seats remain, but as you know, they go fast for fireworks night. So if you want to come out, get your tickets soon. Orioles.com or call 888-848-BIRD. Hey, the Hawaiian shirt. Well, you know those folks came down. Unless somebody in Baltimore mailed it to them.
I'm sure there are a lot of requests for that Hawaiian shirt.
Good to see O's fans following the team on the road. Outside corner called strike. David Lowe 0 for 3 after a 2 for 4 night last night. He was given the start after his good game last night, even though more lefty started. And he chases a pitch. So the borderline pitch was more hittable, and then that one he chased and it bounced in the dirt.
Pretty good changeup right there. Backing it.
1-2 on Lowe, 2 outs, and the base is empty. And foul back out of play. It ran in on him. Orioles have stranded 5 men on. And the play by Forsythe robbing Flaherty of a hit was big for Tampa Bay. It would have been at least a 2-run base hit. Instead, it ended the inning. One and 2 on David Lowe. And popped up back to the plate. Casale coming back on it, has a play, and he's got it for the out. So a 3-up, 3-down by Alex Colomé, mid-6, 5-2 O's.
Miller Light, Wei-Yin Chen in a jam, bases loaded, only 1 out. He dots a fastball. Look at the dangerous Souza Jr. down on strikes, and then the great veteran Longoria deuced into grounding into the 5-3 out. Wei-Yin Chen out of the tough jam, and the Orioles maintain that 5-2 lead going into the bottom of the 6th.
So Chen back to work in the 6th. He'll face Logan Forsythe to lead off. Butler and Loney will follow. And there's a strike in the outside corner. So he comes off speed on the first pitch and gets the call. And bounces a breaking ball. Chen trying to win his 5th. He's done 6 consecutive quality starts. He is 3 outs away from extending that streak.
Chen starting to mix in that off-speed. The off-speed pitches more now. 2nd, 3rd time through this Rays lineup. Miguel Gonzalez uses the full complement of his pitches to shut down the Rays.
Yeah, last night he wasn't happy with the, as he calls it, my splitty, my split-fingered fastball, so he used more breaking balls than he normally does, and he had a good one last night.
Yes, he did. Nasty slider. He was locating very well throughout the ball game.
Sharply hit foul down the line. Gosman will pitch tomorrow.
he's seen some nice performances to learn from here recently.
And the next step for Kevin is to integrate his breaking ball more into the repertoire. Looked like Forsythe swung at a ball, so the count holds 2-2.
Trying to protect, expanding the zone a little bit.
Swing and he fouled it off. Oh, does that frustrate a hitter? You recognize it's going to be a ball, you pull your bat back, and the ball follows you. It's the bat.
Right. You see that 7th pitch, the slider. It broke in where he wanted to. The height not good. I can see it down and in.
That one hung and it was pulled foul.
And that one stayed on the plate just a little too long. Unfortunately, just pulled foul.
Another foul ball.
Like how he's working here. Mixing him up with the sliders and then trying to sneak the fastball by him away. Forsythe, a tough hitter. Good average. Already the home run in this ball game. Has 11 on the year. Averages on this team. See the pitch tracker. He's working in and out.
Upstairs on the 10th pitch of the at-bat, Forsythe had fouled off 5 in a row. Outside ball 4, and he lost him. Real good at-bat there by Logan Forsythe to get on, leading off in the 6th. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. And the Orioles have a 3-run lead. Here's Joey Butler, who doubled his last at-bat. An 11-pitch walk gets Tommy Hunter back up. He was up to end the 5th. Chen got out of the bases loaded jam. Slow roller towards 3rd. Manny will have one play, and it's at second base, and he gets the lead runner. Wow, what a decision there. It looked like he was in position simply to go to first, but he felt he had a play, and he did.
Well, he gets a great read on this ball coming in, but a little slow getting it into the hand, or at least finding a seam. Gets rid of that. You know Jonathan Schoop will try to turn it, but nice to get that lead runner. Keep that double play in order. Jonathan Schoop's ready. He's played with Manny Machado plenty times before. And he's second baseman. Better be alert, because Machado can make that very athletic back across the diamond throw.
They always compliment each other when either makes a play. They gesture back and forth. They critique the throws, even within the inning. Here's Loney, the only lefty up. He'll hit with the O's in a shift. Fouls it back. And I asked Jonathan the other day in New York, all right, who has the better arm? And Jonathan said, well, I do. Everybody knows that. Manny will tell you he does, but I have the better arm.
They both very impressive. The power they possess. These smooth arms, very accurate.
If Jonathan gets some real zip on those throws, because he's almost always overhand. Manny a lot of times likes to come down a little bit. Still has a gun when he needs it.
Yeah, Manny a slinger, that loose arm from the side. Incredible accuracy.
They are always together, those two. They are real good friends. 0-2 on Loney. And there's a base hit against the shift the other way. So Loney gets a base hit, and once again the Rays can bring the tying run to the plate.
Loney hit a bullet at Manny Machado in his last at bat. They're going the other way, picking up a clean single.
And here comes Buck Showalter. And we're going to get Tommy Hunter. So Chen is lifted here in the 6th. He has a streak of consecutive quality starts halted at 6. Tommy Hunter comes on. He inherits 2 on, 1 out in the 6th.
Buck Showalter with the early pull, and he shows the frustration. Screams coming off the mound and fires the hat under the bench. Wei-Yin Chen used to better performances than this, so showing his frustration. You see the fastball 69% of the time, breaking ball 20% with change, 11%, but that roughed up a little bit in the middle 3 innings of this ball game. Tommy Hunter now into the game, 70% fastballs, 30% breaking ball. The power arm, 3.86 earned run average. Opponent sitting 261 overall.
And he misses outside to Tim Beckham. Butler's at second, Loney at first. And here is Beckham, who is 1 out of 2. He got a gift double his last at bat on a fly ball down the right field line that Nolan Reimold overran. And a good breaking ball to swing and a miss.
Take a look at Tommy with the inherited runners stranded, 15 of 26. The best percentage is 58%. And Chen makes his way back out the Orioles bench.
1-1 on Beckham. Ooh, just missed outside. And there's another time Caleb setting up outside, but it looked like he set up for a ball, and Tommy hit the glove, and it was a ball.
Just a little off. I mean, you don't want to put it all on the plate. And I hope get some calls if received well. Caleb caught it clean, locked it up, just off the edge.
Goes back up there with a breaking ball, and he gets the call.
Good sliders in this at bat, both for strikes. Slowed that one down to 85. Seen him really get on that slider. He's been throwing it much harder lately. Seen him pop a couple up in the 90s at the late break.
Tommy's 4th appearance since the All-Star break. He's gone 3 1/3 scoreless innings. And has picked up 4 strikeouts. 2-2 on Beckham, 2 on and 1 out. Check swing and a breaking ball gets away. Joseph to second base, the tag, and Loney is out. So trying to advance on a ball in the dirt, and the Orioles get a big out. 2 men down.
Oh, huge play here from Caleb Joseph. Ball kicks away. He can sense the runners. He sees them. Has the great peripheral vision. Sees Loney dragging a little behind. He read the nice read at second base by Butler. Had a better shot at Loney, and a nice play by Caleb Joseph.
So it's 3-2 on Beckham, and now 2 men down. And he lost it. Beckham did not know the count. Home plate umpire James Hoy said, Tim, here's how it works. Ball 4, you go down there.
Number 10, Jake Elmore.
So Tommy walks the first man he faces. Bouncing towards third. There's Manny. We'll go across the first, and he gets Elmore, and Tommy Hunter gets the Orioles out of a jam. Our Honda do-ups as we go to the 7th. Chen's day is done. Chris Davis, Manny Machado, Adam Jones. The O's look for insurance.
Nolan Reimhold picking up 2 RBIs. Geyer with the diving effort. Able to drive in Jones and Hardy. Orioles put on 3 in the first inning. Caleb Joseph bringing out the hammer, making him deep in the trop. His 7th home run of the year, but the Rays fighting back with back-to-back home runs. Longoria going deep, and Forsythe back in the 4th inning off Wei-Yin Chen. Remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Buck Showalter and Dave Wallace talking it over. I'm sure about what they saw with Wei-Yin Chen. Here's Chris Davis against Salome, who stays on for a 2nd inning. Rose would love to get some insurance the way this game's going. Chris 1 out of 2. He's also walked and scored a run. His hitting streak now at 9 straight games. Bounces in there, 1-1 the count.
Brad Brock down there getting loose in the Orioles bullpen. They're trying to be careful with Chris Davis, primarily a fastball pitcher, but a couple off-speed pitches to start him off.
Outside. After today, the Orioles will head home. They have the 7-game homestand, 3 with Atlanta and 4 with Detroit. Then they head out west for a 3-city 9-game road trip. But beginning tomorrow against the Braves, the next 33 games for the Orioles are outside the division. They will not see the AL East again until August 31st when Tampa Bay comes to Camden Yards.
And then it could be a make-or-break month.
Right. They're going to need to play themselves closer into contention over the next 33 games outside the division, with a tough road trip as well. I mean, 9 games out west, it gets tedious because of the time zone difference. You're just not used to it. They also have a day off after the first series in that road trip. After next Sunday's game of the Tigers, they head to Oakland, 3 games there, then a day off, 3 games in Anaheim, 3 games in Seattle. 3-2 is bounced into the short. That's Beckham, the shortstop, and he'll get Davis for the out, and 1 away. So the trading deadline is Friday, but teams are not waiting. This trade has been rumored, and it's official now. The Royals acquire Johnny Cueto and some cash from the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds get the left-handed pitcher Brandon Finnegan, who was on the postseason roster last year, left-handed pitcher John Lamb, and left-handed pitcher Cody Reed. So Cueto, who could become a free agent, the Reds out of contention. They get 3 pitching prospects back for Cueto, who likely would have left anyway.
Some good lefties in that group that the Reds acquire. And that Reed supposed to be a pretty good pitcher.
Manny is 0 for 3 in the game. Swing and a miss on back-to-back pitches.
That was a little slider. A little off, 89 miles an hour. Now he does have that natural cut on his fastball, but that's typically up in the mid-90s. So the slider with the late movement.
Check swinging, he went too far. He's called out by James Hoy. So Machado, 3-pitch strikeout. Salome gets him in 2 down.
A hard breaking ball, and Manny just gets it going a little too early and can't hold up that bat head. Haven't seen Manny get out in front like that too often this season. Typically lets the ball travel and reacts to the baseball. Too much body.
Here's Adam Jones, 2 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch, so a perfect day, 3 times on base. has never had a hit against Colomé. He is 0 for 6. And how about that? They're shifting on Adam.
Big shift. Adam can go to the right side. The Rays aren't afraid to pull their infield around on anybody. Now, Chris Davis has been talking about taking advantage of opportunities, and you see Adam Jones with the hits by direction. Now, obviously more to left, but 20 hits to right field. Certainly capable of driving the ball that way.
So 0 on Jones. Colomé throwing strikes. He's retired all 5 batters since coming on in the 6th. Jones. That was out of the strike zone, and Adam chased it. So 3 up, 3 down for a second consecutive inning. 7th inning stretch. Brad Brock coming on at the Trop. A lovely day on the beaches here, St. Petersburg, on the Gulf side of Florida. Pretty good crowd here today. They had their promotion Christmas in July. All of the ballpark workers dressed in their Christmas wear. Here's Brad Brock.
Brad Brock, take a look at his pitch arsenal. The fastball 63% of the time. That breaking ball, the hard slider, and the change. Devastating changeup, used it 25% of the time. 3 wins, 296 earned run average, 50 punch outs in 45 2/3 innings of work, leading the Orioles bullpen in the K's. Opponents hitting 211 overall. Lefties way down to 191, and he is a fly ball pitcher. 60% of his outs in the air. Brad Brock's been on a nice little roll here recently. 8-game scoreless streak, spanning 11 innings. Showalter has the utmost confidence in Brad Brock right now. He's speaking very highly of him. Of course, a huge part of the success of this bullpen. One of the best in the game.
Leading off the 7th inning for the Rays and pinch hitting for Casale.
So Brad Brock comes on, and Kevin Cash goes to his bench. Left-handed batter John Jaso will pinch hit for the catcher Kirk Casale. The Rays are down by 3. They have 9 outs left. With Wei-Yin Chen starting, 3 left-handed batting regulars, DeJesus, Kiermaier, and Jaso, all began the game on the bench. A little bit low, 1-0.
Jaso's number is 357 off the right-handers. He's 200 off lefties. Well, he didn't make the start today. Jaso just off the disabled list. He's done a nice job. This team picked up a couple hits already in the series.
He had the game-tying hit the other night. He drove in the inherited runner, got the hit off O'Day. Jaso's 1 for 2 head-to-head against Brad Brock. Good fastball pop foul out of play.
Let's talk about angles from pitches, and Brad Brock creates a really good one as he steps across his body to throw on that first base side of the rubber, so can really drive it in to left-handed hitters.
Doesn't chase the changeup. Showalter was complimentary of Brad Brock in his pregame media session yesterday. He said, you know, you look at the season he's had, very quietly he's been just outstanding, and he's been consistent. Hard hit ball into the shift right there, a scope, and he'll fire to Flaherty to get the out. And one away here in Tampa Bay 7th inning as Jaso hits into the shift. Speaking of Brad Brock, coming up on Wednesday, Brad will be signing autographs and meeting fans from 11 a.m. until noon. He'll be at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria. Don't miss your chance to meet Brad and browse the latest official Orioles gear. That's this Wednesday coming up 11 until noon at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria. For all the information and a complete calendar of Orioles community events, visit OriolesReach.com. Here's Kiermaier pinch hitting for Brandon Guyer.
Kiermaier, the good speed, 248 average, 4 homers on the year, pop one on a mistake.
Breaking ball outside, 1-1.
Pretty even splits with the lefties and righties. Now when Kiermaier came up, he could not touch a left-handed pitcher, so making the adjustments, starting to get more consistent there.
Swept towards first on the changeup. Easy play for Ryan Flaherty, and 2 quick outs here recorded by Brad Brock. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to the hashtag #OsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast, all brought to you by T-Mobile. Oriole fans. And the camel floppy hat. You know that family, they're regulars. You got the camel floppy hat. Steven Souza batting with the bases loaded, 1 down in the 5th inning, was called out on a 3-2 pitch. Chen came inside. It was a perfect pitch.
Kirby Waiters talking some things over there.
Souza is 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. And there's a 4-pitch walk.
See Caleb Joseph gesturing to Brad Brock just to stay back a little too quick there. Falling forward, letting that arm, the timing of that delivery a little quick.
Here's Evan Longoria, who grounded out to Machado to strand the bases loaded in the 5th when the Rays were rallying to try to get the lead. Chop foul straight down at the plate. Longoria 1 for 3 with a home run in the 4th inning. That was the first hit and run allowed by Chen. The first 11 hitters Chen faced, he retired them all. No one got on base. The last 13 hitters he faced, 8 got on base. Outstanding off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2.
Well, the bottom just drops out of that changeup, and those pitchers with the good changeups have to have the good arm speed and good velocity differential, a great location. Back-to-back changeup at the bottom of the zone to get ahead of Longoria.
In the dirt, and he doesn't chase it. Brad Brock last worked on Wednesday. It's been a nice string of consecutive scoreless appearances going. And Longoria looks it over for 2. He got in the first game in Detroit, the middle game in New York, and now the last game in Tampa. So 3 appearances on the trip for pitching coach Dave Wallace. And he got him. He kept going out there with the changeup, and finally he gets Longoria to chase. A 2-out walk, a man left. We're through 7, 5-2 O's. Brought to you by the Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com to volunteer with your local fire, rescue, and EMS. Lovely day in St. Petersburg. New catcher comes on, Rene Rivera, as Kurt Casale was pinch hit for. And Kevin Kiermaier, pinch hit for Geyer, stays in the game in center field.
A couple of the Rays' best defenders there. Kiermaier covering a lot of ground out in center field, and Rivera, best throwing percentage in the game, up over 40%.
That leaves David DeJesus as the only player left available on the bench. There's J.J. Hardy, who is 1 out of 3 with an RBI single. Ball strike on the inside corner. J.J. is 0 for 2 in his brief appearances against Colome. One. Colome has retired all 6 batters he's faced.
He's had a great slider coming into this game.
Inside, good take, 2-1. Now the Rays will stay home after this game. They have the Tigers coming in here. The Tigers are on a road trip through the AL East. They're in Boston, then they come here, and then they come to Baltimore for Thursday night. Center field, Kiermaier on the run, and he gets there. He could cover some ground and 1 away here in the 8th inning. Well, follow the Orioles wherever you are with mlb.com at bat. It is the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get mlb.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Darren O'Day is getting loose. Here's Nolan Reimold, has had a good day. In the 3-run rally in the first inning, he drove in 2 runs with a double, then drew an intentional walk, and then singled in the 5th. So he is 2 out of 2. His 3rd multi-game of the season. And the double in the first, he had gone 42 at-bats without an RBI, but he drove in 2. His first RBIs since June the 14th. And that slider bounces in, 1-1.
Nolan, like Snyder and Lowe, would like more consistent playing time. Have days like this, and you're certainly going to find yourself in this Orioles line more frequently.
Now the Orioles will face 2 lefties in the Atlanta series. Alex Wood tomorrow night and Manny Banuelos on Wednesday night. Former Yankee prospect and a lefty today. So Reimold getting the start today, and he got a couple of hits. And he chops a foul. A lot of good movement there. You see the result of a pull swing on a pitch that's darting away from the bat.
Well, he's been going to that slider, his best secondary pitch here, coming in relief. And typically not a very consistent pitch for him, but he's found the feel, and he's throwing some nasty ones at the bottom of the zone, varying speed from about 84 to 89.
Fights off a high fastball, so Nolan prolongs the at-bat. Those are 3 and 5 on the trip. They're trying to win today, make it back-to-back wins, get this series, and get back home. 3 interleague games, and then the Tigers come in for 4. Inside, ball 3.
Reimold has always had a real good eye, a good on-base percentage. Job laying off some borderline pitches here, and this at bat to work it full.
Well, 3 and 2. Broken bat, loop to center field. Kiermaier is deep, and he's going to have to play it on a hop. And Nolan Reimold has a 3-hit game. That was some at bat.
First baseman.
It was. Good things happen when you work and do a lot of things right, and he did. Laying off some tough pitches here, having to reach out, breaking the bat. Finding some of this drop turf out in center field, dropping in front of Kiermaier. Kiermaier turned on the Jets, thought he was going to have a play. See this ball in the outside corner, maybe a little off the plate, and the exploding bat trick for a knock.
So a 7-pitch at bat. He gets on with one down. And here's Ryan Flaherty. 0 for 1 in his only at bat against Colome. A changeup floated in there and low.
Yeah, good change. He's kept that ball down as well. Ryan Flaherty, typically susceptible to those type of pitches, stays back, recognizes, not even flinch.
Fastball right there. Interesting defense against Flaherty. The infield is shifting for Ryan to pull. Look at the outfield. Look at Kiermaier. He's shading over towards left center. So the outfield is playing Ryan to hit it the other way. The infield on the pull.
A lot of times you see that hitters typically pull the ball on the ground and it's in the air the other way.
Reimold goes. Pitch is swung on and fouled off. Reimold had a good jump.
That's good to see too. Talk about this team needing some speed. Manny Machado got base stealer here, but Reimold's got good speed. David Lowe, good speed as well. Take a look at his jump. Big man can run.
And Flaherty down in the count 1-2. There's Manny. He has 14 steals to lead the team. Reimold goes again. Pitch is on and fouled off again.
Another change up there, but nice to see Flaherty not going out to get it. Staying back behind the ball. Just a little out in front. Brady's and Manny Machado. A little chuckle down there.
Rays have gone 11 straight games without an opponent stealing a base. They haven't allowed a stolen base since July 9th. Gerard Dyson in Kansas City stole a base. Reimold doesn't go, and the pitch is swung on and missed. And Flaherty's down on strikes, 2 away. 4th strikeout for Colome.
He really sold this one.
Second baseman.
Good off-speed pitch at the bottom of the zone. Really got his body into it as well. Looked like it was going to be a heater. It's Flaherty out in front. Nasty pitches for the second out.
Here's Jonathan Schoop, an infield hit on a check swing against the shift in the 4th inning, and that was big because he got on ahead of Joseph who then homered. Reimold chased back. Colome has retired 8 of the 9 he has faced since coming on to begin the 6th inning. Now back 0-1.
Even with the young hitter Jonathan Schoop, not a huge sample size. See Darren O'Day, Orioles bullpen. Tampa Rays defense, big shift on. 2 outs, sensing that Schoop's going to want to do some damage, so pull the whole infield over and leave Schoop that whole side of the right field possibly attack, but it'd be nice if he could just fillet one over there. Great opportunity. Get some pressure on this team and give Nolan Reimold a chance to get on the 3rd base.
One on Schoop. Colome paying a lot of attention to Reimold. Outside, 1-1. Well, if nothing else, Reimold is splitting the attention of Colomé.
Which is good. I mean, speed can do that. Getting ahead of an opposing pitcher, make him rush a little bit, which can lead to mistakes.
Ball on a strikeout scope, 2 down. Inside, good take. Scope checking with Bobby Dickerson to see if there might be a play on. Line drive towards right center field. That ball's going to get down, and it's going to get back almost all the way to the wall. Reimold will be held at third. Scope will scamper back to first. He ran through the stop sign. And now they got Reimold in a rundown, and he's tagged out. Reimold ran through the stop sign. Dickerson had the arms up, told him to stop. And that's how the inning ends.
Well, this is pretty frustrating here for the Orioles offense as Bobby Dickerson both hands up. Nolan Reimold just rayed through. Yeah, you get a ticket for that. That's the third out.
The coach's signal to stop, ran right through the stop sign, and is tagged out by catcher Rene Rivera to end the inning. So instead of 2 on and 2 out, the inning ends.
Darren O'Day now into the ball game. Gonna redeem himself after a tough loss 2 nights ago after a real good Tillman start. 55% fastballs, breaking ball 44% of the time for Darren O'Day. He had been and still is a monster out of this Orioles bullpen. 151 earned run average, 5 wins. Just that one loss. Opponent sitting 176. Righties down to 146. Lefties picked it up a little bit to 238. Fly ball pitcher, 65% of his outs in the air.
And he gets ahead of Logan Forsythe. Butler is on deck, and then James Loney do. Forsythe a solo home run. He's also drawn a walk. Foul off the shin guard of Caleb. Brandon Gomes is now getting loose. Colomé has worked 3 scoreless innings. That'll help the Rays tomorrow when the Tigers are here. The starter goes 5. Sometimes you beat up that bullpen, but Colomé gave the Rays 3 innings.
Nice try on that slider there from Darren O'Day. Sweeps it across the plate just out of the zone.
Darren took the loss on Friday night. He allowed an inherited runner to score and then 2 of his own. His first loss of the year. Weak ground ball against the shift, and that's a base hit.
Well, that's a little frustrating for Darren O'Day. Nice pitch there. Forsythe knows how to handle the bat. Typically a pull hitter when they played this shift, but 2 strikes in this stage of the game. Forsythe made his adjustments, beating the shift on a broken bat single.
David DeJesus is going to come on and pinch hit for Joey Butler, so that's it. No one left on the bench for Kevin Cash. Yeah, the defensive swing by Forsythe, they're playing the shift, but the pitch was outside. So just protecting, he had no choice but to hit it that way, and because of the way the Orioles were shifted, he benefits from the base hit. DeJesus started in left field the first 2 games in this series. A little bit low, 1-0. DeJesus is 1 for 4 head-to-head against O'Day. there's a called strike.
Great break there on that slider from O'Day, just missing the fastball the pitch before. They're an unbelievable command of that slider. Backdoors it to the left-handed hitters. Right it inside as well.
Chopper over the mound. Hardy near the bag, out there. The first and out there. So a weak chopper, but right to Hardy over the bag and 2 men down.
Good two-seam action from a Darren O'Day fastball, inducing this ground ball double play right on the bag to Hardy. Hardy easily over to Flaherty. Complete the double play.
Here's James Loney. Loney singled against the shift his last at bat, and this time they're not shifting on him.
So there's an adjustment made by the Orioles defense.
And J.J. Hardy mentioned that in our pregame chat. He said sometimes if we see hitters adjust to us and we shift on him in one at bat, we might not implement the shift in the next at bat.
That's what you have to do in this game. Pitchers have to make adjustments through ball games. Hitters have to make adjustments. Defenses as well.
Loney was still trying to shoot it down the third base line. Manny's well wide of the bag at third. There's Bobby Dickerson talking with Matt Wieters. Bobby, I guess, explaining the shift or why they're going to this version of it. Pointing out to the fielders. Two outs and none on. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Lifted to left field. A long run for David Lowe, and he's not going to get there, and it's a base hit. Loney is trying for 2. Here's the throw. He is out at second base. For a second time in this game, James Loney runs into an out. And that benefits the O's.
Great throw here from David Lowe, the 28th outfield assist for this Orioles outfield. Beautiful play.
Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Coons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. The Rays in their tank in center field. Fans stop by and check him out. Here's Brandon Gomes to pitch the 9th.
Yeah, take a look at his pitch arsenal. The fastball 43% of the time. Works it in the low 90s. A breaking ball, slider, and a curveball on the change. The split finger. Pretty much equal distribution with all of his offerings. So a mix-it-up approach. 4.45 earned run average. 22 Ks in 32 1/3 innings of work. Opponent's hitting 266 overall. Righty's up to 294. Lefty's down to 232, and he is a fly ball pitcher. 63% of his outs in the air.
David DeJesus stays in the game in left field. There's Caleb Joseph leading off. And it's in there for a strike, 0-1. Caleb 1 out of 3. With a big 2-run home run in the 4th inning. And that home run is our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Now Caleb Joseph getting on more fastball in off the plate, pulling the hands in tight. Deep drive. Left field here in the Trop.
Drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 5 years running. See why at lexusoftowson.com. Swing and a miss. Play will have to be made at third. Rivera gets it, so Caleb strikes out, 1 away.
That's 9 strikeouts today for Rays pitchers. Just 1 more, and everyone wins 3-6-inch subs from Subway. Games Furniture.
For the Rays in the bottom of the 9th, trailing by 3 at the moment. Beckham, Elmore, and Rivera, the lower third of the lineup, due up. Here's David Lowe, who is 0 for 4. They picked up an outfield assist, getting James Loney at second base to end the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, perfect. perfect throw by David Lowe. As you see Zach Britton, Orioles closer, warming up out in their bullpen. Not a smart base running choice by the veteran Loney, though. Down by 3 runs and trying to push it a little bit. He's out by quite a bit at second base.
Well, he has run into 2 outs in this game. In the 6th, when Chen was still in there, and with 2 on and 1 out, and Chen threw a ball in the dirt that bounced to the right of Caleb. Both runners took off, and Loney was caught by Joseph trying to get into second base. And that was a big second out in that inning, and it short-circuited the rally. And a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks by Brandon Gomes.
He gets Caleb Joseph on the slider, but here the change with the late fade at the bottom of the zone, 83 miles an hour. It's David Lowe out in front and over the top.
Chris Davis in the number 2 spot again. He is 1 out of 3 plus a walk. High fly ball, a mile high into that roof. But Jesus follows it all the way. He's got it. And the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. We are 3 Zach Britton outs away from an Orioles win. Try to earn the save.
Now, Orioles All-Star, again, 8 straight scoreless appearances. He has been dominant for the Orioles. The great young closers in the game. Fastball has been exceptional. Power pitch for Zach Britton 91% of the time. Breaking ball, he'll flip it in there on occasion, 9% of the time, but it is the fastball that works for Britton. 24 saves in his 25 opportunities, 163 earned run average, has picked up a win, 43 punch-outs, just 8 walks on the year, holding opponents down to a 207 batting average. To the lefties, just 108. Take a look at that ground ball percentage, 78% of outs on the ground.
Here's Tim Beckham leading off. And a swing and a miss at the good fastball. Now, Zach worked last Saturday in Detroit, picked up a save in the middle game of that 3-game series. And then Buck got him in the 8th inning Thursday in New York, a game the Orioles lost. He needed an inning of work and pitched a scoreless inning. He did get up momentarily last night, but then was not used. Foul straight back, and it's 0-2 on Beckham. So Zach looking for save number 25. Beckham is 0 for 2 against Britton in their head-to-heads.
Now, the only time Britton shows signs of getting in trouble is when he starts to elevate his pitches. That fastball starts to flatten out a little bit. Still holds the good velocity, and you got to do a lot of good things right to get to a Britton fastball. But when it's down in the zone, it gets as good a late movement as you'll see in the game. Very hard to square him up. So many hitters at the top of the baseball. That's why you get that high ground ball percentage.
Gets ahead 0-2. And he got him on a breaking ball. Caleb will play it to first, and there's the first out in the 9th inning. Now, if you're a hitter, you got to say that's not fair. He's thrown 97 with sink, and then he uncorks a breaking ball.
Yeah, why waste your time with a breaking ball, right? Well, the reason he has success with that pitch, he's got to show it in the strike zone. So there you go. Hitters are gearing up for the heater. If it starts like it's on the plate, you're going to get a swing and miss. There it buries itself down and in, but Beckham already committed to the heater.
Here's Jake Elmore, who's playing third base today. Longoria is DHing. A little bit low, 1-0. Elmore, 28 out of Alabama. He played in college at Arizona State and was drafted by the Diamondbacks. The Rays are his 4th big league team. He has been with Arizona, he has been with Houston, he has been Cincinnati, and he has been with Tampa Bay, and that's over the last 4 years. 4 different teams in 4 years. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
And Tampa certainly loving his versatility. He can play anywhere on the field.
Two balls and a strike. Nice patient at bat, ball 3. So he was taking a strike, and then when Zach threw one, he saw that sinker about to sink out of the zone, so he just let it go by.
You have to zone up. And here, being down by 3 runs, try to be patient with that approach.
And he walked. So a nice at bat there by Elmore. And that'll get Rene Rivera up for his first at bat. Kurt Casale began the day catching. He was 0 for 2. John Jason pinch hit for Casale in the 7th and grounded out. So here's Rivera, who is the regular catcher but did not start today against Wei-Yin Chen.
It's the 176 batting average. Casale hit a home run yesterday, so maybe riding the hot bat for the catcher.
So Rivera takes a strike, and it's Britton getting ahead 0-1. Runner at first, 1 down. Strike at the knee, same pitch. Rivera questioning the calls of James Hoy, but those pitches look right there at the knee.
Yeah, maybe thinking it might be a little bit inside. Nice job to get ahead.
I think he also reacts to where Caleb catches that ball, but it catches the zone as it comes through. Just got a piece. So Britton has a strikeout and a walk. Rays are having trouble barreling up his pitches. Tampa Bay has lost 7 of its last 8 series, and they're 2 outs away from losing this one. And he got him. Rivera down on strikes away. He just blew it by him.
Yeah, that is nasty. I think Britton surprises a lot of hitters. Short arms, ball comes out of the back of his head and just explodes. With a late movement, 97 miles an hour. So many hitters have to gear up, and you see many chases down and out of the zone.
So the Rays down to their final out. Here's Kiermaier. Pinch hit in the 7th and grounded out. Swing and a miss in 97. Well, to get on a winning streak, you got to win the first one. The O's did that last night. They snapped their 4-game skid. Now an out away from making a back-to-back win, heading home for a 7-game homestand where they have played well. The Orioles are 27-18 at Camden Yards. But Showalter's club going to interleague play the next 3 days with the Atlanta Braves, and Nick Markakis returning to Baltimore. 0-2 on Kiermaier. Struck him out, and the ball game is over. And after a tough loss on Friday night, the Orioles bounce back. They win back-to-back games. They get the series, and now head home to begin a 7-game homestand. They're back to within a game of 500. Well, we hope you can join us tomorrow as the O's are back home. The Atlanta Braves come in. Kevin Gausman will be on the mound against Alex Wood. That's game 1 of the 3-game series. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. And now for Mike Bordick and our entire crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Tropicana Field, where the Orioles win at 5-2 over the Rays. Today's telecast, a massive presentation. The Happy Recap, O's Extra, presented by PNC, comes your way right now. Let's send you back to Baltimore and join Tom and Rick.